again. It's Kim. So this is the Moscow Police Department law supplemental narrative from the murder scene in Ohio that obviously Bryan Kohberger was accused of. This is July 8th, 2025 at 9:46. The officer that's writing it is Mitch Nunez. He was one of the ones that was talking to the girls on body cam. I think it was Bethany and then Dylan Mortensen. Bethany Funk, I guess how you say it, and then Dylan Mortensen. But the narrative initial response, interview, search warrant application, and patio entry log, number 170, watch guard event, BWC and 4 RE. Anyway, I don't know what those exactly mean. Additional responding officers, Gunderson, Snyder, Warner. Case number added to WG, and yes, the evidence, none. The narrative on November 13th, 2022, at approximately 11:56 hours, I responded to an unconscious subject at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho. Upon my arrival, I found a large gathering of people in the parking lot immediately north of the 1122 King Road residence. 1122 King Road is a white three-story single-family residence with multiple bedrooms. The 1122 designation is located directly above the front door facing north. I was directed to a bedroom on the second floor by Hunter Johnson in the northwest corner to locate the unresponsive female. Upon entering the room, I observed the female laying supine or like on her back on the floor next to a bed. According to Dylan Mortensen, this female was likely Kaylee J. Gonsalves. Dylan also lived in 1122 King Road. I observed dry blood surrounding Kaylee's body and signs of cutting trauma to her face. Kaylee was covered in so much blood, I wasn't able to immediately discern where any additional injuries would have likely been, and Kaylee was apparently deceased due to her pale skin color, rigid body tone, and apparent blood loss. Obviously, this is going to be Xana Kernodle, not Kaylee, because she was in the bed with Maddie. But on the bed in the same room, I observed Kaylee. I observed a male lying supine on the bed. According to Dylan, the male was likely Ethan J. Chapin. Dylan said Ethan was commonly at the residence. I observed blood covering portions of Ethan's legs, surrounding his body into the bed sheets, and drops of blood on the wall near Ethan's head. As I backed out of this room, Hunter showed me a kitchen knife and said he had it in his possession. I told Hunter to leave the knife and go back down the stairs to the front entrance. Officer Warner and I moved to visually clear the residence for any suspects, or additional victims. On the third floor, Officer Warner and I found two additional apparently deceased females, both laying supine in the bed. This bedroom was on the southwest corner of the third floor. According to Dylan, these two females were likely Xana A. Kernodle and Madison M. Mogan, which is not true. One female showed an apparent traumatic injury to her face due to the basic facial structure being unrecognizable. Both females showed very pale skin. Both females were covered in dry blood and apparently deceased. And after the residence was deemed safe, Officer Warner and I exited the residence to secure it in the immediate area, to include the parking lot immediately to the north of the residence. I walked outside and began interviewing Dylan. Dylan told me at approximately 0400 hours, she heard a voice scream and believed it to be Kaylee's. Dylan said she heard Kaylee scream and announced there was somebody inside the residence. And actually, I think that was probably Xana, but I don't know. It's kind of a confusing scene here, because they're saying there was Kaylee and Ethan in the same room versus Xana and Maddie in the same room. So it's not. But anyway, let's go on. Dylan said she could hear Kaylee run from the third floor down the stairs to the second floor into the northwest bedroom. Dylan said she locked herself in her bedroom and continued to hear a commotion. Dylan said eventually she stopped hearing a struggle and heard a male voice say, "You're going to be fine. I'm going to help you." Dylan said she did not recognize the male's voice. Dylan said after a few minutes, she peeked out of her bedroom and observed a male described as approximately 6 feet tall, slim build with a black ski mask, leave the second floor patio area. This patio door was likely left open as it was found upon found open upon my arrival. I interviewed an additional roommate, Bethany Funk, who told me she was at the residence during the commotion. Bethany said she was on the second floor in the living room watching Vampire Diaries with Dylan and an unidentified person named Lakeland, I think. Bethany said at approximately 0200 on 11/13/2022, Madison and Kaylee came home from a night out at the Corner Club bar located at something in Idaho, Moscow, Idaho. Bethany said she also believed Madison and Kaylee went to the Grub Wandering Kitchen truck that was commonly located in the 300 block of South Main Street. Bethany said she and Madison let Madison's dog out, Murphy, sometime between 0200 hours and 0230 hours. Bethany said during this time she observed no suspicious activity. Bethany said she returned inside while Madison was still outside with Murphy. Bethany said she went to bed around 0230 hours. Bethany said Madison came into her bedroom sometime after 0230 to ask if she knew where Murphy was. Bethany said she told Madison no, and Madison left. Bethany said she woke up in her bedroom, which is located on the first floor, to a sound she described as a firecracker and a flash. Bethany said she initially thought the sound was a prank. According to Bethany phone log, uh, she showed me, Bethany called Xana at 421, Ethan at 422, Madison at 422, Madison again at 430 hours, and then Kaylee at 431 hours. Bethany said she never received an answer on each phone call. Bethany said she went back to sleep and woke up around 11:56 hours when 911 was called. Initially, I was told Kaylee was likely located on the second floor bedroom with Ethan. After comparing Dylan's initial statement with other investigations officers' observations, it appeared to actually be Xana that was located on the floor of that bedroom, and Kaylee was one of the other females located in the third floor room. So yeah, that's where it's got all confused here. I also observed the following vehicles in the gravel parking lot that was immediately north of the 1122 building. Silver 2015 Land Rover, Range Rover with Washington license plates, registered to, I'm sure, this probably Kaylee's dad or somebody. But I think it was new, so they might not have had it registered properly. A blue 2010 Honda Civic with Arizona license plate, a white 2014 Chevrolet Cruze with Idaho license plate, red 2011 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited with Washington license plate, and a black 2017 Ford Explorer with Washington license plate. And they're registered to all these people. I'm sure this is Ethan's vehicles. I think these two. And then this, let's see. This is probably a Kernodle. And then L, I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, Laramie, probably. This might have been Maddie's car. Karen, probably. I'm just piecing it together just based on these people's names. Because yeah. Bethany doesn't have a vehicle. I don't know about Dylan. Okay. I was originally assigned to identify all of the people in the area. However, I was reassigned by Sergeant Gunderson to begin the search warrant application process. I provided the above information in the search warrant application at approximately basically 428. I returned to the 1122 King Road to assist with securing the southwest patio entrance. I took responsibility from Officer Warner in documenting who entered and exited the residence. I provided this documentation on a notepad and maintained the log until I was relieved by Officer Morris at approximately, what is that, hold on, 5:50 hours. And then the following information is the rear patio entry log from 3:17 hours until 9:15 hours. Southwest corner patio entry log. Officer Smith recorded entry at 3:17. Captain Lanier at 3:20. Officer Warner arrived to relieve Officer Smith. 4:28, Officer Nunez arrived to relieve Officer Warner. And then 5:09, basically, Sergeant Gunderson entered, and then still Sergeant Gunderson exited. And then at, what is this, 5:10, Corporal Payne, Officer Smith, ISP Detective Talbot, Prosecutor Ashley Jennings exited. Corporal Payne, Officer Smith, ISP Detective Talbot, Prosecutor Ashley Jennings entered. That may have been, should have been switched around. And then at, what is this, 5:48, Officer Morris relieved Officer Nunez. And then at 9:15, Officer Morris relieved patio door was locked and sealed. So end of entry log. And then this is M. Nunez, and then Sieverding was the sergeant who approved. So anyway, these are just some of the documents that have been released last year, but I'm just now getting a hold of them for the Bryan Kohberger stuff. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye.